Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Well, hello, everybody. It is your highlight of the week, your highlight of the month, the year, everything. Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m., hump day, the Dennis and Andy show. We are here to entertain you the middle of the week, middle of the day. Thank you for joining us. We are working our fingers to the bone for you guys, doing fulfillment on Core Draft. The Awakening just came up from downstairs. My back is a little sore because when I put the work in, I stand the whole time, unlike Mr. Lounge Chair over here. Brings over a fancy chair from home to sit in behind the table as he's doing orders and doing Gemini mailers. I mean, I'm like, really? You brought over a Barca lounger to sit in? How'd you even fit that in your truck? But he did. Very comfortable when he fulfills.
Yes, guys, it is New Comic Wednesday. So, yes, we have been working tirelessly. I did bring over a fancy chair because I have learned to work smarter, not stupidly. Unlike some people.
Definitely not harder.
Complain. No,
definitely doesn't work harder.
No. Why work harder when I can get out more books by sitting in a fancy chair, having everything in there? It's like, guys, we have been kicking it. We've got one huge load. We filled up the entire vehicle the other day.
I've heard you've had one huge load
before.
Full
huge, yeah. Entire thing completely filled. The hatch barely closed all the way through the back seat. It was awesome. The poor people at the post office look at us and they're like, whoa. So, yeah, we've got even more today to drop off. So we have to be there. So we're going to make this a nice, awesome, but yet very tight show, because we have to get to the post office before they close so we can drop them off. But guys, once we drop these off, we're going to have over 600 packages out the door. That's how quickly we've been doing it.
That is well over the halfway point. If everything goes according as planned, hopefully by this time next week, we'll be saying one more day and we're done. So be on the lookout. Once you get the packages, pop it on social media. Let us know you got it and all that. That'll be awesome. JP Roca in the house. Prater7. Dennis Rodriguez. Hello. Randy Howe popping links like a madman. Thank you very much. Pastmaster Dan. Pop the sign up for Lilith Infernal Conflict. I pinned it to the top of the chat. So, guys, go sign up for that. And we'll talk more about that later. We do have a fantastic guest today. Man, this guy pumps out books like there's no tomorrow. I swear, you'd almost think this guy puts them out monthly. Mr. Paul Thayer, hello.
Hello.
Seriously, man, I'm just like, you're like, I just launched my next campaign. I'm like, damn.
I swear you were just on our channel.
I was, I think it was December I was on. And now we fulfilled that one in February. And then we launched this one like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So
yeah, something like that. Number 6.
Yes, Project Naosis episode 6, our 10th ever Kickstarter. So this is now 10 Kickstarters, 2 Indiegogos, 1 Fund My Comic, and we're on Kickstarter. We're probably only doing this one on Kickstarter, and we're here.
That's nice. Yeah, I backed it already. I'm trying to remember. I looked at it again last night because I had to put the thumbnail together for the show, so I wanted to pull some stuff. And I was looking at it going, I'm pretty sure that's the cover I got. I once you pull it up and show it, I'll point out which one I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, guys, if you've never seen Paul's stuff, definitely check it out. It's great, fun, comic book, superhero type stuff. Great art, great writing. It's fun stuff, and we'll talk about that. in a little bit. We did want to kind of talk about the two stars that unfortunately passed away, Richard Chamberlain and Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer was a little closer to home for Dennis and I because, one, the guy's only 65, so he's only 9 years older than us. Or no, he's actually 10 years older than us. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, I remember him back from before Top Gun, in the 80s. I was telling Dennis, I can't remember the name of it. Let's see how good you guys are in the chat. I do have his filmography up. He did a parody movie, not Hot Shots. That was Charlie Sheen in the 80s. I'm trying to remember the name of the one Val Kilmer did. So if you guys remember in the chat, let us know. But yeah, man, when I saw that he passed away, my first thought was, the Top Gun from a couple years ago. And it was nice seeing him in. Did you see that one, Maverick?
I did not. And to be honest, I didn't even see the first one. It's like one of the only movies that I've never done in watch.
Were you alive when the first one came out? What year were you born?
I am 27, so 1997.
No.
Okay, well, okay, so we'll let the first one slide. I mean, if it's a movie that came out before a person was born, I'm not going to give you shit for it. I mean, it's before you were born. But yeah. Maverick, I mean, right there, you should have put aside and said, all right, I'm watching Top Gun, and then we're going to the theater to watch Maverick.
Yeah, I don't know what I forgot what other movie was coming out around that time, and I think I chose that one. It might have been Spider-Man. It was
I don't remember
one of those movies. But I know everyone raves about Top Gun. I will watch it. I think it's free on Prime right now, which makes it even easier for me.
Yeah. Top Gun Maverick, that is a awesome late night or a nice weekend duo. Great movie. And those movies are responsible for enlistments going way up in the Navy and the Air Force.
Yeah. As soon as Dennis saw Top Gun, he ran over, tried to enlist. Then they said, oh, no. Sorry, we don't take you. Dennis is like, what's that mean? And they're like, you know what it means. Flat feet. Get the hell out of here.
Flat feet.
Was it just old age that he died? Was it heart attack?
No, it was complications due to pneumonia, I believe.
Yeah, it was pneumonia.
It sucks.
He had problems, and that's why, he couldn't speak. It was super painful. They actually address it in the Top Gun Maverick movie, and they kind of write his affliction into the movie, which was fantastic. He was great. He really was characterized as a very difficult person, but a totally brilliant actor.
Yeah, dude, seriously, do you like Westerns?
Yes, I've watched my fair share of Westerns. I used to watch a lot of Lone Ranger.
Well, have you seen Tombstone that he was in?
No.
Dude, Tombstone, He played Doc Holliday, stole the movie.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, he wasn't even, he was a co-star. He wasn't top billing because Tombstone was the one with Kevin Costner, right?
There were a lot of
because there was Wyatt Earp, which was
so it was Kurt Russell.
That was Wyatt Earp, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or no, that was
Bill Paxton.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Here, let's just do this.
They'll correct this. Yeah, no, because, okay, so this is funny, Paul. So at the same time, Tombstone came out and Wyatt Earp came out. And they had they were the same character. You had Tombstone, had somebody playing Wyatt Earp, somebody playing Doc Holliday, and the rest. And then Wyatt Earp obviously had somebody playing Wyatt Earp, somebody playing Doc Holliday. Yeah, Kurt Russell was Tombstone. There you go. And so was Val, and Val played Doc Holliday, and man, he stole the freaking show. He was so badass in it, Yeah, Kevin Costner was Wyatt Earp and Wyatt Earp. Yeah.
I'm gonna pop this up here. It's just really slow right now.
We were discussing before. He was, to me, because that was the only thing I was able to watch all the time. He was Batman, So that's
dude.
One of my Batmans.
See, like I was saying, so Kurt Russell was Wyatt Earp, Val was Doc Holliday, Sam Elliott was Virgil, Bill Paxton was Morgan. Look at that. Powers Booth, Michael Biehn, Charlton Heston, Jason Priestley. This was
Who'd he
an
play?
all-star cast. Dana Delaney, one of my favorite redheads.
Oh yeah, Jason Priestley played Billy Breckenridge. Yeah, dude, I would say
Stephen Lang.
if you're going to choose one or the other, I would definitely do Tombstone over Wyatt Earp. I think Tombstone was the more well-regarded one anyhow.
Yeah, Tombstone's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge, Western fan. There are certain ones that I really enjoy. Some of the, what's his nuts?
I don't know. What's his
John
nuts?
Wayne. I like a bunch of the John Wayne ones and stuff like that. But for like the modern stuff, this was a great movie.
But yeah, I mean, when he played Batman, thank God it wasn't the George Clooney Batman, because that one really took a shit and went downhill. This one, the one that he was in playing Batman with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, it was on the verge of going campy, like the first Batman with Michael Keaton and the second one with Michael Keaton, they weren't campy. At least I didn't think they were. But then they kind of went that way. And Val's at least wasn't that campy. I mean, yeah, Tommy Lee Jones was a little, but
So my opinion, I don't remember when I first watched it, but I was probably like 6 or 7.
Sure.
I probably watched it a good 300 times, So for me as a youngin', I enjoyed that movie a lot. I think that was my real Tommy Lee Jones movie. I think that was like how I was introduced.
But you eventually went back and watched the Michael Keaton ones, right? Before it?
Yeah. I watched them all. I watched them all because that was the only thing we had on tape with like those movies.
Right.
And the Batman, the animated series was the only thing you can get for Batman. There was no.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate, and it's good that you guys always, go see all the new movies. Like, it's just because, now we have so much of it. But before it was just like, that was, even if it was shit, it's still holy grail. It's like we won't get anything anyways. So.
You have seen, and this totally has nothing to do with Val Kilmer, but now I'm just curious. You have seen the original Superman from 1978, right?
So I even watched it recently the other day. So I like all of them. I love the Zod one. That was probably my favorite out of the bunch. Neil for Zod.
Did you see Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, though?
No.
Because there's the Superman 2 that was released in.
Did.
What's that?
If it's on HBO Max, I might have.
I'm pretty sure it is, because there was obviously the one that was released in theaters, and during the filming, because they were filming them back to back, 1 and 2. Richard Donner had disagreements or whatever and left it, or maybe they technically fired him. And that, I can't remember the director they brought in. That's the one that you saw in theaters, but then, like a decade or so ago, they released on DVD the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2, and it is freaking awesome. It is so much better.
It is.
Than the one that was in
They're
theaters.
both, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're both
originals
good.
of both are good, but the Donner cuts are great.
Yeah.
The only Superman movie that I didn't enjoy was the one with the Superman
Man
Returns.
of Steel. Say Man of Steel.
No, Brandon Routh.
Brandon Routh and the pedo dude. The who's Lex Luthor?
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and I was like, damn, dude. I was like, this is why they took my Cyclops away for this movie. I was pissed. Happy Cyclops is back though. Let's go.
Dude, that was the thing. Like the Brandon Routh one, even because I'm a huge Superman guy, and just the design, like the S was too small, the trunks were too thin. It's like Speedos instead of thick trunks like they're supposed to be. So it just looked weird. And then the ending of it and stuff, it was just, with him like stalking Lois and his son. And it was just like.
And there was no big fight, right? Like the whole point, especially that was when the CGI started getting good and they just wasted it with him flying next to an airplane.
Yep, wasted it. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
My still favorite, other than the original ones, the first two, really it's Smallville, especially that final episode where Tom Welling, he's sitting there, he's flying, he's falling down, and he goes into his costume for the first time and becomes Superman. I get goosebumps just thinking about it. Still one of my favorite endings. I love Smallville. It got a little monotonous in the middle of it, but it it was a really solid series for if you're a Superman fan.
Yeah. I mean, well, did you ever watch Smallville or no?
So I watched some of Smallville, but I'm diving into Arrow now. Arrow's my new thing. It's on
Yeah, that was good.
It's on Netflix. I'm on season 3. I don't like that Ra's al Ghul's a white guy, but excluding that, it's cool, you know.
So do you like Reacher?
Love Reacher.
Okay.
Are you caught up?
Yeah, I watched. So before I told you guys I lost my iPad on the plane. That was the last thing I watched on my iPad was episode 8. So
nice.
Oh, so Reacher was Aquaman in Smallville.
Yeah. And he was also, to me, he's Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he was telling me about that.
I love that. That was funny.
I still haven't watched it.
The first season, they're saying it's hard to hear me. Is it better now?
I mean, you sound fine to us.
Okay.
So, that's why I haven't said anything.
That was one of those shows where like the first season, 2 seasons were just like phenomenal. You know, that was like one of my shows. Right. That's where he was from, and I love that he's juiced out to the max now, and he's ready for Batman, which I think they should give him. So
I don't know. I mean, I agree. He is definitely. I mean, even from I just started. I told Dennis after episode 8 of Reacher last week, I went back to watch season 1 again because I just love the show and I love his delivery and stuff. And man, I was looking at season 1 going, damn, he's bulked up since season 1. I mean, he was big in season 1, but damn.
Yeah, a bunch of the guys are saying that they're having problems.
That's weird because you sound fine to me. What about you, old man? Can you hear him?
My mic. Is it better now, fellas? Let me know if it's better now. I just unplugged my my mic and now I'm just straight into the.
Yeah, it actually sounds identical.
Yeah, I mean, you sound.
I'm almost wondering if you weren't just your mic wasn't working in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you sound fine though. Like I don't.
Still the same.
Rich says worse. Yeah, but Rich is a troll. Nobody can believe what he says.
Yeah, but other people are saying it, so you can't blame Rich this time like you always do, Andy.
I try.
Yeah, it says I'm back in.
Oh, you sound good now.
That changed.
That changed.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do that. I juiced it up a little bit. Maybe it wasn't plugged in. But yeah, dude. So I love Arrow. That's the best.
Yeah, Arrow's good. I mean, towards the end, it's one of those shows because it went for so long that you're kind of like, at least because I watched it real time, so I was kind of like, I know it's coming to a close in another season or 2, so I'm going to stay with it. Same with The Flash. Like, The Flash got long in the tooth, and I was, when they announced the final season, I was like, thank God, because I like it, but not as much. Oh, yeah. Did you see Teen Titans? Because Alan Richardson played Hawk.
I watched Titans. I skipped season 1. I don't know why, because they weren't in the suits or whatever, and I hated that. And then I watched season 2. I enjoyed it. I didn't like the whole zombie thing at the end. I think I ended up rewatching a lot of it.
Oh, I never watched the end of. So this is the funny part. Do you know how many seasons there were of Titans?
2 or 3 max. I think it's 2.
No, it's more than that. 'Cause I watched 2, so I'm thinking maybe it was 3, and I never watched the third one. Because I know I never finished it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It ended. It was with I remember they had this cool scene at the end, and then they jumped to the next season, and Trigon was like already finished somehow. It was like some weird, like big plot holes. I wasn't a fan. I was happy they canceled it. Honestly, I'll still watch it. Even with Arrow, the main reason why I watch Arrow too is because I'm just trying to see like different ways on how to story tell, because with that show, at least there's always a beginning, middle, and end, at least for a lot of those episodes. And I'm just trying to consume it that way.
Yeah, I'm there with Rich. With Teen Titans, watch the first episode, never look back.
Skip the whole season. I saw at the end he was Nightwing or something, and that's why I was like, okay, I will do that now. Like, let me watch some of that. I
don't even remember. So in the first season, they weren't even in costume. I just don't remember. I watched it.
Something. It was like off. He was like
Oh.
It was off. And then Bruce Wayne was whack, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't a fan of the whole Bruce Wayne stuff. It's like, look, don't tease me with Bruce Wayne if we're never going to see him in like a costume or something, you know?
Yeah, it was just like back shadow, like nothing
Right.
crazy. Yeah, I'm not a doesn't ring a bell for me, this guy.
No,
Sad to
Richard
say.
Chamberlain, the biggest thing I know him from is Shogun. Now he was 90, so it's still sad when somebody passes away, but my thing is, 90 and up, it's like it's sad, but it's like you lived a good long time. You went past your expiration date because I don't think the average expiration date for us is past really 80, 85. So, that's a good. I mean, look, this guy next to me, 90 in his dreams,
and I still look amazing
in his dreams. What if the clock turns like November 5th when I turn 80, because I will. Hopefully he's still around and we can celebrate his 80th. But I tell you what, he turns 80. After that, I'm going to have to remind him every day, dude, it could be your last. Live it to its fullest. You might not wake up tomorrow.
And that's true for anything. I mean, just live life, enjoy life. Don't be angry, be happy. Richard Chamberlain, I loved him in Shogun. That's what I knew him from. I mean, that was my big thing. My wife said, "Oh, Thornbirds." She was into the Thornbirds and stuff at that time. But he was in like the Towering Inferno, another classic back from the day. So he was a great actor, and that's two. And they come in threes. So I wonder if today or tomorrow we're going to get hit with some more bad news.
Damn,
I know,
that's
Dennis.
horrible. You're wishing on a third right now.
That's what he does.
Yeah, I don't wish it, but it's like always true.
Let's do a death pool and find out who the oldies are, or the ones that aren't that old.
And no, you can't choose Andy.
Musketeers. Who was he in Three Musketeers?
He did some good Four Musketeers movies.
Will I be able to write Cordra after I die? No. Yes, I will. I'll have so many things written. Even when I'm gone, Andy can just take the next one and keep going.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't as a huge Richard. Like I said, I knew him from Basey Shogun. So
no, I do. I love cheese curds.
So I definitely seen the Musketeers movies. So I just have to.
I don't see. I have two, but it just doesn't pop for me. I mean, I know he was one of the top actors and stuff.
My favorite of the Musketeers, I hate to say it, it was the Disney one. It really was, with Kiefer Sutherland. That was just hands down my favorite.
And which one was the Man in the Iron Mask? That was a spinoff of Three Musketeers, right? Yeah.
Wait, Man in Iron Mask wasn't that Leonardo? Yeah, DiCaprio.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the other guys were the Musketeers, no?
Were they? I don't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, I don't remember. But let's see. We actually have
my gas. It's making me upset.
Where to go? I hit star. Dennis, why is it when I hit star for that one chat?
Maybe I have to yell. So maybe if I yell into the mic, we can hear.
I don't know. It sounds Rich. Shut up. I don't believe anything Rich says.
You think he's trolling me? I think he's trolling.
Probably.
Wow.
And I saw if someone said before I saw two, they asked like something about me. Paul, no.
Yeah, it's right here. He said, Paul, were you influenced by Robert Kirkman's work?
Walking Dead I read. I got into Invincible after. And speaking of that, the big hook was he was doing it, and he was saving Omni-Man for the end, right? Or midway point, like, hey, we got to reveal that. And originally, because this book that I released is the origin or part of it of our main villain. And originally, I wasn't even going to tell this story. Like in the original first 12 scripts, it was never even going to be touched, like this type of backstory. And I put it in there because people love the character, people got to know what's going on. And, I took advice to that, but I'm definitely influenced by Robert Kirkman. I actually gave him a shout out today. I was like, big influence, big hustler, love Invincible, love Walking Dead. Walking Dead was like my favorite show ever. So. Yeah,
no, well, it's funny. So I like Invincible. I never read Walking Dead, but I liked the show. But then, like, I just fell off, like, because they're still doing a couple spinoffs with like Daryl and stuff, and the one with Negan and I can't remember the chick's name, but she was married to
Michonne and Rick. It's on Netflix. Watch it. That one's fire. The
Which
worst one
one?
out of them is Dead City, which is Negan one, because it's Negan with the guy Maggie with he murders
Maggie,
her
yeah.
husband, and they're co-starring, and I'm guessing they're setting up a nice kiss scene coming up. I didn't want so like it just weirds me out. So.
I watched the first season of that one, and I was like, eh. And I know a second one's supposed to come out. I watched the first season of the Daryl one where he's in France or wherever. Not, but I did watch the Rick Michonne one you're talking about. I watched that.
Thought it was great.
But there's not a lot. Is there supposed to be another one of those or no? Do you know?
So I don't know if this is confirmed, but I know they're going to do something where they all connect again. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what we're building up to, because they're building a lot of stuff in Manhattan. There's other stuff. And then I think maybe they might do a movie, or I don't know if that was Rick's end. But they'd be stupid not to continue it, with at least the main guys until they die. I feel like they need to die. We need to watch them end. And Rick in the comic books dies, and in the show, Carl dies. So it's like,
right.
They still got time. And there's no Daryl in the comic books. So, they can technically go on with that. Maybe I could see a movie happening for sure.
I personally, yes, from a business standpoint, they could ride the money train and just keep putting out stuff. But from a quality standpoint, I would be fine if all these spinoffs came to a head to one movie where everybody was there. And even if it was like a two-parter, so it's, basically 4 hours, but part one and part two, and then everything just gets wrapped up and it's done. Because I think at some point, every show, you just got to go, okay, it's done. I mean, like, honestly, out of all the 30-some seasons of The Simpsons, I've probably seen 10 episodes. But I think that's different because it's a cartoon and, but like these long-running freaking shows on TV, like what's the one? Oh, Grey's Anatomy, which is like, what, 24, 25 seasons or some shit? A friend of mine watches it. I've never watched any of it. I'm just like, 24, 25 seasons. It's like the Law and Orders that are going on almost 30 seasons. You're just like, oh.
So the main thing that I think they touched on it with actually all three of them. So I actually do think they're doing the movie. They were teasing the juiced up zombies. You know what I mean? Like the super zombies.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But then it should end, because then at that point, then they should be shooting energy beams out of their hands for the season after. So
Right.
But I definitely want to see. I feel like they should go that Resident Evil route, because they needed to upgrade. And then then you can really close it out. Because if they're sprinting and they were I think it was Daryl, right? It was Daryl's show where they had the juice, but it was I think they were talking about doing the tests in Rick too. Like there was a lot of things that they connected. But I really like the Rick show. I like Rick as that actor. I think he could
he's
easily
good.
Be a Ghost Rider or something. And I like
I like Andrew Lincoln. He's definitely good. I like Daryl. I mean, the funny thing is, I like Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I like the chick that plays Maggie. I can't remember her name. I like the woman that plays who's the older woman that they teamed up with Daryl's
Carol.
Yeah, I like Carol. I like the cast, but I mean, dude, it's going on. When did Walking Dead start? Was it before 2010 or a little after?
Yeah, it was before. And a lot of the guys too, I feel like that's why they left a lot of things open-ended. Like there definitely could do a lot of spin-off shows, even with some of the side characters. Like the side characters, they get big lines at these Comic-Cons. Like even the C and D guys, or some guys that had a couple episodes, I see their lines like crazy. I even feel like God, I'm gonna butcher his name, but the Norman Reedus's brother in the show, who plays the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, if you see him at Terrificon, his lines are insane. They
yeah, Michael Rooker. Wait,
Michael Rooker, yeah. Michael Rooker and Ross Marquardt, who did he had like the one hand, and now he's he was also Red Skull. He's killing it, dude. And
dude, that guy can do a lot of accents.
He does a lot of characters.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh, and by the way, Randy Howell, how many subs to hit 4K? One person subbed to my channel, and I will hit 4K.
Oh, just drop 5.
Oh, son of a bitch. I knew it. Paul, why don't you pull your campaign up and we can go through that and look at it and chat about that as well as we're shooting the shit.
Share screen. Project
Supernatural. Yep. 15 seasons.
Yeah. I mean, and that was another one that jumped the shark towards the end.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, why? Like, what was the moment?
Well, it was after the Leviathans and stuff, but it was a great show.
Oh, that's cool. There it is, guys. Episode 6. And did you remember to share your volume so you can play your trailer?
I don't know if I hit that in the beginning, but it's okay. I can roll through it.
Well, hit play because I'd like to see it. I never watched it. I knew I was going to back
Welcome to our 10th Kickstarter campaign.
You can hear it.
Project Naosis, Episode 6, a 28-page full-color comic book following the origin story of our main supervillain, Crimson Pain, a super-enhanced speedster looking for vengeance for what was done to him. Find out why he killed 90 million people and all the superheroes that existed. In this world, there is no multiverse or do-overs, so what you see is what you get, and the stakes have never been higher. Join us on Project Naosis Episode 6 and make history. If you're new, we have catch-up tiers available with over 200 pages of story, 276 pages if you want to go crazy, and we also have exclusives on the campaign with a 100-copy exclusive of our Virgin variant of Project Naosis Episode 6 Cover A. If you're looking to go even wilder, we have a customized character splash page where you could work with the creator, Paul Thayer, and design a character which will be featured on a splash page in this book. Now, find the pledge that works best for you and join us, and let's make history. This is Indie Comics. This is Project Naosis.
Nice.
Yeet.
Hey, so Brian Suddenly Old is asking, is Episode 6 the next floppy after the graphic novel?
No, so the graphic novel collects Project Naosis 0, 1, 2, and 3. And we're not reprinting 0 to my knowledge. So you would have to get that all in the trade. And then the beginning of volume 2, which is entry new reader friendly, is 4 and 5, and now 6. And then it's going to be wrapped up at 7. But 4 and 5 is really our team settled in this world, and they're going to fight the main supervillain. And now, there's a crazy thing that happens at the end of the book, and we're tying into that and also giving you the origin story. So, it's 28-page full color action comic book for only $10, and there's catch-up tiers available. But if you've never had Project Naosis before, you can start with this issue, and I try to make every book new reader friendly, but still building the lore. But this one's really has a beginning, middle, and end because it's aftermath. You see what happened in the last issue, and then we dive into this origin story of Crimson Pain, who is teased throughout the book on having a past life that might be connected to the agency that they're with now. And we're diving right into that.
Yeah, dude, I can vouch for it. I've gotten everything from it. Met Paul at Garden State last year. Got the trade from you there and something else too. I basically got caught up because I think the only 2 that I backed were 5 and now this one, because I was able to get everything else at Garden State. Maybe I backed 4.
You'll be at Garden State this year, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis will actually be there this year.
Yeah, because I missed you at Garden State last year because I was out of state.
But yeah, I would definitely back it. The art's fantastic. Let's go through it. Scroll through this sucker. Give us some lowdown.
So this is interior pages. This is on page 14. So we're diving right into the madness. We're diving right into Crimson Pain's origin. And he's in a different armor. He's less juiced up. You don't know what's going on. But, it's flashing through, some moments before we get into that origin, basically showing you the parallels between the main superhero you see in Project Naosis Episode 0, who is Odysseus, and Crimson Pain. So these are 2 characters that went to war in episode 0, and now you're going to find out how the paths went differently, maybe starting at the same point. And Crimson Pain has shown no emotion throughout the series. This guy comes in, kills everybody, moves on. The last issue,
True.
one of his teammates was injured, and he did show some sort of emotion, but we've never seen him actually truly give a fuck. And we're actually going to see that in here. We have maybe a past relationship, and
Yeah, look at that second panel. What?
Yeah.
They call it stopping short.
Yeah.
We're ready. And so 28 interior pages. It's gonna be 26 of story, and then we're gonna have some cool stuff in the back. And then so our cover A is always done by our interior art team. So it's Project Naosis episode 6 shows Crimson Pain in his warpath. Look at this psycho making blood mural with these people's blood. Clearly got some mental problems.
Oh, it's so good.
Cover B, we have Igor Tixteria. He's done some covers for me, and he's doing a book with me called Lethal Leopard. And he made a great cover showcasing Crimson Pain, and this new character is called Electrite. So this is a cover debut. Love the violence. We have our exclusive. We're only doing 100 copies. I always only print a certain amount of the variants anyways, and I see what sells the best at conventions and just end up keeping those. But now I'm letting everybody know, like, we're never reprinting this, even though I really don't reprint anything with the main cover. So rewards, for $6, you can get our digital. It ships right to your computer. We do a PDF download through either, Transfer Link or Dropbox.
Yeah.
Yep. Cover A, bam. So you get what you see on the cover is what you get on the inside. Only $10. Easy steal. $10. Who doesn't have $10? Cover B, same thing.
I think that's the one I got.
This one's sick. We actually made this one first. And I gave my main artist, Samuel, a cover, and I was like, hey, I want you to do this. And he goes, no. And then sends me this, and this is insane. So,
okay.
Let the artists do what they want.
They're asking, who's the colorist?
Colorist is Prasad Rao. He's worked on all of my books since Project Naosis episode 1. He's getting some stuff with DC now, too. He's doing some covers for Superman and stuff, which is cool.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Cool to see. I hand my books to every publisher every time I see them. So,
sure.
You guys are getting the free publicity if you're coming.
So did you hook Jim Lee up? Because I saw a picture of you and Jim.
Yeah, that was so. I'll give that brief. CGC, he had his thing with CGC, and you had to pay to be on the line. Of course, the guy had a lot of people on the line, and I talked to one of the CGC guys, and he's like, "Hey, come back later, and I got you." So
cool.
Hooked me up, and I got an opportunity to give Jim Lee my stuff because he was at Terrificon. And he was full security up, and I ran through to give him one of my books. And then, and I couldn't, clearly couldn't talk to him. He's on his way out. But now I officially had some time to talk to him. And of course, I give him all of the new stuff.
Of course.
To say, hey, come hire your boy. But so that was fun. And the exclusive cover, $15, easy steal. So you get a 1 of 100 virgin cover. I love the virgin covers. I think they pop, and you see the feedback.
Oh yeah.
It's like crazy. Hang the guy. Like, this is crazy. And like I said, think of how crazy my artist is that he just made this himself. He did I didn't write any of this for the cover. I'm glad that
that's
give
cool.
him full credit.
Hey, Brian's asking. He goes, I have the giant size Project Naosis and would like to pick up 4 to 6. Do I have to pick it up to continue the story?
Yeah, so 4, 5, and 6 is our newest issues. You can grab 6 and add on the other issues. So you can pick your cover, and then you can add on 4 and 5, and we have 2 cover options for 5 too.
Nice,
that you can still pick up. We had that beautiful V. Ken Marion cover that I'll show you guys again. If you want both covers, $20, bam, same price.
Nice.
If you want just the digital, because you're a digital reader, or what a lot of people do too, which is so cool to see. Like, I'm finally building a good base where I'd say like 20% of every con is people that like already know my stuff. So a lot of people get digital and then they get the physical books in person. If you're that person, 200 pages of story, you get Project Naosis Volume 1, which collects 0, 1, 2, and 3. It's 120 interior pages. You have Episode 4, which is 28 pages. 28 pages for Episode 5, and then this one's going to be 28 pages total as well.
Cool.
So super cool. All 3 covers $30. You save $5. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
Catch up tier. If you've never gotten a Project Naosis book before and you want to just grab everything in the mainline story, which is all the information you truly need, you can grab that. It's 200 pages of story with pinups for only $60. My trade paperbacks, before I did a Kickstarter, when we dropped it at San Diego, I only sold for over a year. I was selling them for $50. And then we did a Kickstarter where we did them for 30 once we did the initial launch. And so basically you're getting 3 books for free, basically. No, 2 books for free, basically, from getting what we used to sell them at. So you're getting the trade and you're getting the newest issues. And if you want to go big ballin', $100.
Dennis loves going big ballin'. He can't wait.
Ballin'.
That is what he's been dying to hear. He's like, yeah, I'm going deep, big ball.
You know, phrasing. You got to watch phrasing around Andy.
Yeah. Dennis is raw dogging it, big ball.
Big raw dogging it, nutting it. We're going.
Yeah.
276 pages of story. So you get all the Project Naosis. You get you get the cover A and the cover B. You get our Crimson Pain one shot. So it's just on our villain. It has a beginning, middle, and end. My artist that did all my back covers to my book. You see me right on that screen.
Yeah.
So I'll show that in a bit. But the back cover, we did a full book, and then I have a prequel book with 2 issues out. It's going to be a 4-issue series, but the 2 issues do have a beginning, middle, and end of like it's the origin on how Omega gets his powers. Like you see the day that he gets them. So that's all in there. So you get everything that we have in here, tons of content, and you're gonna like it. It's super high quality. And we have a lot of cool art. And then we have a customized character splash page. So this is one of them that we did. So I made this character with somebody and I made this character with somebody. Of course, it'd be my own IP, but we think of the idea together. You send me a bunch of references and then I take it with my artist and make sure it's copyright proof. Like, of course, we can't make George Clooney or Val Kilmer as a character, but we can make something fucking badass. And when I do this big war, which will eventually happen, a lot of these characters will be there that we're making throughout these books. I think it's fun. I would always want to do this if I never made a comic book. So the opportunity's there, and you're in my book. So
that's cool.
That's cool.
Like I said, I can vouch for it. I've got all of it. It is really fun stuff. It's gorgeous looking. It's a great fun story. So definitely go and check it out.
And we're on the come up. Like our last Kickstarter, which was our best Kickstarter ever, we did 4,420. We sold 25 cover A's of just this tier. We're already at 31 with 17 days left. So
cool.
We're getting there. And then add-ons for you guys. You guys can get the trade. You can add on episode 4. Like I said earlier, this is our cover A. Episode 5, that's our cover A. And then this is our cover B, that VCAD Marion cover. He's doing some Green Lantern stuff now, and he made this super fucking awesome video game cover. The Crimson Pain one shot, Omega 2090, Omega 2092. That's that homage trade that one of you amazing people got. This one's hot. It sells like hotcakes at the conventions too. Definitely want to do more. And with my homages too, I always make sure it has something to do with the story. Like clearly, like these characters died and we're in with these new characters. We have the volume cover B by Julian Shaw, who's doing some Spider-Man stuff now. If you want to add he's a super cool guy. And we have a trading card. You can add that on. And then we have the t-shirt that if you want a t-shirt with the episode 6 on it, we're printing a certain amount for this campaign and we'll do a new shirt for the next one. But if you want this black t-shirt with limited, probably only we're going to do 100 of these, you can come grab that. Nice. And then first time reader, where do I start? On this issue, Project Naosis number 6 is new reader friendly, but if you want to go crazy, grab one of the catch up tiers. And I've fulfilled, and if we hit, so like I make the goals 3K. Like I'm lucky enough where I funded all these books before we do these Kickstarters, that at least all the lines and inks are done, so I don't have to deal with anything. But really at 10K is where we're really profiting. So at 10K is where we do the stretch goal. So when we get there, hopefully it's this one or the next one. That's when we can add some more trading cards in. You guys can have a whole bunch of trading cards. And if you guys aren't sold on how fucking epic my books are, I do pages from the last issue spoiler. This is on page, I think, around 14. We have a double page splash. We show one of the fight scenes between one of the characters with one of these crazy spoilers where This guy gets half his face blasted off, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And there's still 8 more pages after this. That's all I gotta say. Like, if you're not
Yep.
hooked with that, gotta get hooked.
I know.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I got some cool community stuff. I do a lot of cons, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And guys, public service announcement. For those of you watching on X/Twitter, all the campaign links are included as replies to the post, because a lot of you guys watch it on X. That's become the most popular platform now, and you can't interact like you can through YouTube or Rumble. Some of you are on Rumble, some of you are on YouTube, and those all the links are in the descriptions down below. But on Twitter, if you're watching it, these guys, our wrenches, are awesome, and they put all the links right there for you.
Now, have you seen the big cast announcements for Avengers Doomsday War?
Yeah, so something really cool too, like at WonderCon. That's why WonderCon's a great con. I met the guy who made that trailer. And,
No way.
Yeah, and it's good the way they did it. Like, I guess, like it makes you invest in the time, look through it. But I waited 2 hours and I got to see the whole thing in a minute, which was cool. I'm excited for Avengers. I'm excited for that. They clearly saw that Deadpool and Wolverine was their only successful movie, and it's successful because they're using the characters that everyone got hooked on with. And instead of saying, hey, Wolverine was always here, they're going to do this crazy thing where they tie everything together. And I guess hopefully 2 big events and we're done. Let's go back to doing like maybe 1 or 2 characters can continue in this world. But otherwise, I think they should just start making movies that have beginning, middle, and end, because it's way too confusing for people.
It is. It is now. That is one of the complaints I hear so much. Now, for those of us that are knee-deep nerds and stuff into it, that's one thing. But the overwhelming majority of the population, they're not. And they're just like, I even my wife, she won't go with this anymore. She goes, I'm done. I don't care. There's too much.
And you have to watch TV shows, which is awesome. We love the content, but the TV shows should be like how Daredevil is, even though they're going to probably pull that into its
yes.
But it just needs to be its own thing. And I feel like that's why Daredevil works, even on Disney Plus. And I feel like the more they make it like you need to know all these things is one of the reasons, why Marvel, doesn't have the best sales, with a lot of stuff right now. Even in comic books, it's too many things going on that you have to know, and it discourages people. But hopefully with the Fox thing, it's like, hey, these are all of our Fox guys. We have Magneto, we have Cyclops, and I think Cyclops needs redemption because they just murdered our boy because he wanted to do Superman. He thought he was going to become a mega millionaire, and now he's back. And I think they're going to do a lot of crazy stuff. And they saw Tom Holland wasn't in it, but Tom Holland's movie just got announced. And I feel like they're going to bring him into Battle Wars. So
Tom Holland's not in Doomsday War?
I don't think so.
I thought he was.
He's not listed.
Him and Mark Ruffalo aren't in there, I think, right?
What's that?
I think him and Mark aren't. I think Hulk aren't in it.
I thought. I saw the JPEG. Yeah. I saw the images of everybody. Oh, he just found something. Right here.
So we'll go through them, and you can see if you're excited. Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. I'll be curious to see what they do with that and why they do it that way. Chris Hemsworth, of course, there's our Thor. Hashtag not my Captain America is in it.
Oh.
Paul Rudd, of course, Ant-Man. There's your Black Panther. Loki.
Okay, so now Loki, right? Like, that's the thing, too. It's like, you make 2 seasons and make him done, and then he's going to be back. So what is Doctor going to punt? The ending should have been different then. The ending should have been, I didn't save the multiverse, because clearly he didn't save shit. And then it's just like,
well, and that's the thing. When they filmed the Loki stuff, they were still going under the impression of Kang.
It was all
and
Kang.
Then Kang got all messed up.
Tree.
Yeah, so
you get there's Yelena. Now this is fine because they've got Thunderbolts coming out, so you're gonna have there's the U.S. Agent, Red Guardian, so they got the Thunderbolts squad that's going to be in it, which makes sense. And then there's the Fantastic Four. There's Pedro and Vanessa.
It's a big cast.
Yep, there's the thing in the Human Torch. So curious on that. Professor X, Patrick Stewart. This has got to be one of his and Ian's last movies because Ian, I think, is like 90 now.
He's
so
old.
I mean, they can't do a lot. Kelsey, I like.
Kelsey Grammer,
loved it as Beast. Alan Cumming, I loved him as Nightcrawler. These guys are much older now, so I will be curious to see how they do it. Rebecca, she can dress up as Mystique any time of day.
My theory with this many characters is like maybe the intro is Doom eliminating this universe.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Yeah, because that was my fear with this movie is there's so many characters. It's coming out next year, May of next year. And unlike Infinity War and Endgame, which had like basically a decade of movies before it to build up to it, there's no build up to this movie. It's just coming out next year.
Right.
You can say Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts are going to have a little bit to help push towards it, but it's not enough.
It kind of feels a lot like Justice League, the route.
Yeah, it feels rushed. Yeah.
I mean, you've got there's Channing Tatum, which I kind of chuckle coming back as Gambit, so that's fun. I don't care at all about Shang-Chi.
No, I love Shang-Chi. I loved Shang-Chi.
I do in the comics. I was not thrilled with the movie at all. Cool. And Nevermore here doesn't. I absolutely hate Namor. This version of
maybe he'll hit the gym a little harder this time,
or not.
Yeah.
M'Baku,
he's great.
He is great. There's my big question mark. I love Bob. I love Sentry. Love what they did with him. I thought it was great. I will be curious to see if they can pull him off because it could be great. I was not thrilled with the original Ghost, so having her back is and Danny is the new Falcon. Nah.
But the cast, the way it looks, so they have Thunderbolts and they have X-Men. My opinion is the only way to make it like people really give a shit is if Doctor Doom runs through all of them. They need to start it like it's Professor X and Magneto hanging out, and this guy just comes in and just fucks this shit up.
I will be curious unless they make this a 3.5 hour intermission laden movie. There is just not enough build up. There's just too much, or all these characters will be in the other universe and they'll be in it for 10 minutes and then it's over and then they just focus in on the main group.
Well, no, but see, now you say that's the full cast, but I've also seen Doctor Strange. I've seen, is it Clea that Charlize Theron played? Cleo. I've seen her. She's supposed to be in it. I've seen so many more characters than what that thing just showed. It's not even funny. Like Chris Evans as a version of Captain, like maybe Hydra Cap. Yeah. Scarlett Johansson as a different Black Widow because it's all multiverse stuff. There's so many that I've seen that I'm just like,
Star-Lord.
Huh?
And Star-Lord supposedly in it too.
Oh yeah, Star-Lord, and I think I even saw Warlock. I'm sorry, Warlock. Yeah. As well. So it's kind of like you said, maybe if Doom rips through some of the Fox guys, Sony Fox era people.
It's an ego thing, So it's like, hey, we're big Disney. You want the Fox guys to come back? We're going to brutally murder all of them in the beginning, and then you're going to have to deal with our Fantastic Four.
The problem is Wolverine Deadpool, that was such a fun movie, and they paid such respect to that universe as they basically were getting rid of it. Why would you do anything with it beyond that point? I'll be curious. This isn't one of those movies. This isn't Snow White that Andy really wanted to go to, and I said no.
So
I will see this movie just to see what they do. But then the question is, the really good ones, I'll not only recommend movies, we'll go 2-3 times with the whole family. And I did that with Infinity Wars and that stuff was great. This, I'll see it once just to see what they do with it. And if it's not great, it'll be a one and done. And I won't even buy it.
Oh, and Thanos.
Yep. What's that?
Supposedly Thanos is coming back too.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
clearly
Josh
gonna do that
Brolin's coming
scene
back.
where Doom rips out his spine, like the same way they did it in What If. It was like Thanos comes out and Ultron zaps and kills him right away. You know what I mean? Like just to bury him. I feel
Right.
like they'll do something similar with that too. Like give me the gauntlet, motherfucker. You know? And
Well, it's
just rip his
almost
head
like
off.
to set the movie up and to show Doom as bad as guy as he is. It's like you said, the beginning could be him just wiping out a bunch of these characters, and it's the characters that they know they can reset later on, and it's
And
like, and then that establishes how much of a bad guy Doom is, because with all this going on, Doom's got to be in Fantastic Four near the end of the movie. He's got to be.
He's got to be. Joe says Doom is going to eliminate the Kang stuff and take out the universes with the bad versions of the Avengers from the multiverse. Shang and Cap Falk, I hope gets wiped out. These two. I mean, that's just it. We'll see. You know, and yes, I'm a downer because for the first 3 phases, guys, I own every movie. I not only get them in 4K, I get the steel books, I get everything with them. Ever since then, I don't own a single one of them because I don't care. They've ruined so much of this. My level of enthusiasm went from 100, and I am now like at 10. I barely care. Daredevil is good. I'm enjoying what they have done with that. I'm glad they scrapped out with the 6 or 8 episodes that they filmed and started over. So I like that, but my enthusiasm's gone. They've ruined it.
yeah, I think Daredevil is phenomenal. I didn't know they scrapped it because it clearly was that She-Hulk vibe. So if She-Hulk was a hit, we probably would have
Oh, dude, they shot.
Daredevil.
They, like Dennis said, I don't know the exact number, but it was between. They shot 6 and 8 full episodes of Daredevil Born Again, and then basically somebody with brains watched it and said, no, we don't want the Disney Daredevil from She-Hulk. We want the Netflix Daredevil.
The screeners called it Ally McBeal Daredevil.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Ally McBeal was a fun show for what it was. That is not a Daredevil show. That is basically She-Hulk, Daredevil, throw them into one. No, that is just yuck. So somebody was smart enough to, even though we spent millions doing it all, yeah, let's start over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's done pretty well with at least Daredevil. I didn't see Captain America because I knew it was a big clickbait thing for the Red Hulk at the end, and I didn't. I'll watch it in when it comes to TV. But I think I'm gonna go see Thunderbolts. I think I'm actually gonna go see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to Sentry.
That looks fun.
Sentry.
That looks like a
I
fun.
like Winter Soldier.
It's got some of the Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe to it. You know, they're all secondary characters. They could do something fun with it. I think they will. I don't expect it to be a home run, but you know, a ground rule double, maybe a triple. I wouldn't mind seeing something.
I think it's going to do better than Captain America.
Oh yeah, I think it'll do better than Captain America. I think
That girl's
fantastic.
a big actress now. She's like, you know, she's a pretty big actress. The one that plays
Who?
Black Widow's sister.
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah. Florence Pugh. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think,
I think she could pull.
I think Fantastic Four probably will do better than Thunderbolts just because of more people. Even if it's not as good a movie technically, I think more people will see it because they know Fantastic Four.
So the format that works, in my opinion, they make it with San Diego. So like last year, San Diego, it was all Deadpool Wolverine. Like they did a light show, a drone show with Deadpool Wolverine. They teased Galacticus at the end. And I was talking to one of the guys, and supposedly like that's the big thing. It's Fantastic Four, and then they might do the tease of Doctor Doom, if not in the movie. But I also saw a crazy rumor too, and you know, it could be complete bullshit, that Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom is a punt fake.
Really?
I saw that yesterday. Like in a sense of like, imagine they show us all this stuff and motherfuckers just Iron Man, and then Doctor Doom's just somebody else.
Oh yeah, he's Iron Man from a different world.
Yeah. Or they do like just like he's just another, you know, he's the one that has to stop Doctor Doom or something. I don't know.
Right.
I wonder how they're gonna pull it off because they have to connect it with Tony Stark. You know.
Yeah.
So
you know, my original thought when they first announced it was going to be it was Tony Stark in that universe, and he went bad instead of doing good, and he became their Doctor Doom. And it's like a what if, from the Marvel comics and stuff.
Right.
And that's his version, and he's the bad guy going in versus Victor Von Doom.
Right.
Because I think he's not in Fantastic Four. Maybe
I think
Galacticus ends that world.
No, I think he's because Fantastic Four is the last movie that I know before Doomsday War. I think he's the after credit scene.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think I feel like they would it's gonna be them leaving this world that Galacticus ends or something,
right,
and they land into Doom's universe.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
That's at least what I would do.
I mean, I do definitely agree that at the end of Fantastic Four, they have to get them either to the Doom universe or the regular MCU.
Because if it was, and I feel like that's what they should have done too, and saved it for the second one, but of course everything's rushed. Disney's really desperate to make all this money back. That this Fantastic Four movie in this own world, I feel like was so cool enough to just be on its own. It could just be its own thing. But
right.
We're not going that route. And I don't know, because I didn't see Captain America, but I'm pretty sure they were teasing adamantium too. That's what was getting me scared too.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna say adamantium was from the Internals and give me that. Oh,
well, they already
did.
They already did in Captain America: Brave New World. They already set up adamantium. From the Eternals.
It's from the Celestials.
Yeah.
So, and they're not in the movie either. I totally forgot that they had that movie, and they're not going to be in it.
I know,
right? But Randy brings up. He says if FF underperforms, it will kill a lot of enthusiasm. I agree, and my hope with the Fantastic Four movie is it really is a 1960s version, just a one-shot movie in that era, setting up the history of the Fantastic Four, which will lead into this versus them doing something crazy. That would be fine. It looks cool. The aesthetics look really neat for a super 60s, awesomely designed. So I've got hope for that as long as it's a good story and it fits in properly.
Yeah.
Because let's say they don't, restart it after these two Avengers movies. The only thing that they could do next is combine it with Star Wars. That's the only place you can go after you do all this shit together. To go the next level up without setting back would be, what are they going to go fight Darth Vader?
Well, it's funny because in the comics, I listened to Rob Liefeld's podcast.
Same.
And Rob, this is a few weeks ago, maybe a couple months, but a theory he has in the comics, since they've been doing Predator versus Avengers and, Alien versus Avengers, he really thinks that they're going to eventually do a Star Wars versus X-Men or Avengers or whatever, because they've just got, the money that it could possibly make and blah, blah, blah.
As they're simultaneously killing both franchises.
A lot of artists that work for Marvel or are doing their big indie books on their own. I've been seeing it on Twitter. They all keep going, got this mega project coming up. Can't share any news. Got this mega. A lot of people are saying it. And I feel the only way there's this many people, I might have been on this one, right? Remember, I think we were talking about Mark Miller. He was supposed to announce what he's doing.
Yeah.
He never announced it either yet. And I'm,
Yep.
It's looking like that's the only thing that's left, because they just did that whole big X-Men thing, and in my opinion, it didn't work out.
The relaunch from last year. No.
Yeah, a lot of the books got canceled. I only heard people like that first X-Men book and that Rogue book. I saw a lot of them got canceled. They need it. You need Wolverine versus Darth Vader, in my opinion. And behind me is Wolverine instead of claws. It's lightsabers.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Wolverine versus Darth Vader. If they're 10 feet away, Darth Vader would just take him like that.
But he would be a Jedi then. I feel like that's how they would have to do it.
Yeah, Soy Skywalker versus Iron Man. That's what it's going to have to be.
No, it's going to be T'Challa's sister versus Darth Vader.
Yeah. Torchbearer Studio says I think Doom needs a body or a conduit, and he somehow latches onto Tony Stark when he was traveling through the multiverse. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
I mean, there's crazier ideas that comes up regularly at Marvel.
All right, last question here. Torchbearer also wants to know: are we excited for Aliens Earth? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'll definitely watch it. What's the debut on that? I don't remember. I know it's FX.
Yeah, I
don't remember when it's supposed to debut. Maybe over the summer. But yeah, I'm going to definitely check it out. I think Aliens, weekly show for 8 to 10 weeks could be cool if it's done right. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it. I like shit like that. So should be cool. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if they've got a release date.
Yeah, I didn't watch the new Aliens movie. I saw that the thing fully deep throat someone, and I was good off that. I'm not trying.
Oh yeah,
it'll premiere in Hulu in summer of 25.
Oh, Hulu. Well, Hulu's FX.
Yeah,
so,
but I'm just saying that's literally what they said.
So summer 25. So yeah, we'll check it out. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I like stuff like that. But we actually have to call it because we got to get on the road to the post office before they close, so we can drop off. I think we've got 90 more packages to go out today, and we're over 600. So there you go, guys. When you get Cordrath, pimp it out, social media, let us know that you got it. And of course, I love overlays because I don't have to delete us from a stream. There's the homage cover for Lilith, Infernal Conflict. So go sign up for that. Link pinned to the top of the chat and in the description below. And here's a few new characters that are going to be in the book.
Awesome.
So check it out. Lilith back home in the abyss, the realm of the abyss, as she has to claw and fight her way for the power. So go sign up for that. And of course, go back Paul's campaign on Kickstarter. The link is in the description below as well. I'm looking forward to it. What is the last question? What is the ship date for episode 6?
So I always say 3 months. I usually do it a lot sooner than that because the majority of it's done. But I'm saying July because I want it for San Diego Comic-Con.
Cool.
So long as I have it for that. But it's definitely July. And I already have half the book colored. And it's just about production, So it's simply good. And I'm super excited. This is my 10th Kickstarter, trying to blow it up, trying to make that impact. And I'll be at AwesomeCon DC this weekend and C2E2 next week. So come say hi to Visual Vibration booth, your boy.
Dude is all over the place. Definitely go check him out.
Check him out, guys. We got 260 of you on live right now. Links are down there. Go back, Paul. Go sign up for ours. Guys, this is a great time. And for those of you watching it later, links are down below unless you're on X. And then just check the comments because our wrenches are awesome.
That's right. And Friday morning, the movie review, or actually Thursday night, the movie review for Black Bag will be dropping.
It's out in most of the theaters already. So we're making a road trip to go see this. But we are going to do that. And you will see it Friday morning.
There you go. Until next time, bye-bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper.